Hello all. July 10th, 2012. Well, let's just go right over to the news. Columnist Paul Craig Roberts has an article out. It's called The Collapse of the U.S. Economy and the End of the World. This is about the third one of these articles I've read in the last month or so. Things aren't looking too good worldwide, as everyone knows. Paul points out that the U.S. has been in war since 2001 and is ramping up more and more wars under Obama. This $3 trillion is just the cost of the Afghanistan and Iraq war. Far more money will go into it, both of those wars, those ongoing wars. The Iraq war has not stopped by any means at all. We have troops there fighting every day. How many wars is the U.S. in now? Right now, we're in Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, Africa, and Libya. Soon, the military-industrial complex want to go after Syria, Iran, and, yes, China. Now, if you know that China and the U.S. will obviously have to go to war over the remaining oil. Paul also talks about the decline of the median household income in the U.S. Let me show you what I mean. The real median household income index for the U.S. from 2000 to 2010. This should be interesting. In 2000, we were at about 100. Right after that, about 2001 happened. You know what happened. We went all the way down to 97, almost 96. Then we went back up to 101 for a brief time, and we came down and did the wiggly thing. Then we were way down here, and we suddenly went up a little bit, then came down, went back up, came down, went back up, and then came the crash. We came all the way down here, and right now we're just at 94. Paul Craig is saying that we'll never recover from that. So we're spending all of our money in the U.S. to go fight wars for oil and precious resources. Apparently that's what we're going to go after China for, is because they're holding back on rare earth elements, and we need to go attack China as well, I guess, according to the neocons in the Democratic Republican Party, or what we call the Republicrats. They're basically the same party and work for the corporate 1% military-industrial complex. Let me show you another problem with why the U.S. is going to quickly collapse. The U.S. has experienced its hottest 13 months in history. It's also experienced its warmest 12 months consecutively ever on record. This is a basic chart of the last year of heat, and as you can see, these are all the records. I don't have a board big enough to put thousands of records, but it just keeps going and going. The hottest I saw it, and that was yesterday, was 117 degrees Fahrenheit. The U.S. is now saying that there's going to be a shortage of corn, wheat, and soybeans. Well, the U.S. population mostly eats corn, wheat, and soy. So it'll be interesting to see how high our food prices will go now. In the last couple months, they've been going up to the extreme. An organic apple used to be $1.95 a pound. They're now $3.59 a pound and going up. Alright, let's go see what Brent Crude is doing. Brent basically started at 99.5, and the Norwegian oil strike is over, so the prices fell quickly and then began this sort of slow decline down to almost 98, but then picked up a little bit, went back down, and then went all the way back up to almost 99.5 where it started, then came down, went up, came down, went back up, and it's somewhere around 99. Let's go up and see if there are any oil barges in San Francisco Bay, which is supplying gasoline to northern and central and southern California, and parts of even Oregon, I've learned. Well, it looks like we have two barges in San Francisco Bay. And what is gasoline going to cost today? Inexpensive gas station. This is the expensive gas station with lower prices. I'm going to go ahead and respond to Damia XXX on the reason why. Alright, that didn't work well because the camera is having some troubles. So I'll try it again. What I wanted to discuss was why we're going to war with Iran. In my opinion only, it's because of the oil. Everything runs on it. The oil is everything. You know, it's what makes everything run, and it means truckloads of money to high officials and a few CEOs in the oil business. If you say it's because of nuclear armament or nuclear ambitions by Iran, what standards and who gets to tell Iran they can't have nuclear weapons? The U.S. Well, the U.S. used nuclear weapons twice against civilian cities in Japan. Thousands were killed, and radiation is still in both those cities. The U.S. has recently threatened nation of Iraq. Saddam Hussein was in office saying that he had weapons of mass destruction, and that the U.S. was thinking of using their weapons of mass destruction first before he had a chance to. Well, it turned out, of course, he didn't have any weapons of mass destruction, and again, the only country threatening nuclear weapons, of course, is the U.S. And the U.S. says that other countries can't threaten with nuclear weapons or even have them. The U.S. has more nuclear weapons than all other countries combined. The hypocrisy is so far over my head, I can't even discuss it. It's just pathetic. How about a standard that we all can take and stick with? You know, it's okay for the U.S. to use nuclear weapons. Oh, because it was time of war? Does that mean that other countries can use nuclear weapons in the time of war? You know, think about this stuff. It's complete hypocrisy. Go check out Paul Craig Roberts' article. The link is in Pink Barrio. Alright, last video, I asked for people to send me their numbers telepathically so that I could guess to see what your numbers are between 1 and 99. We only had one response from XXXXXXXXXX right here, and he sent it at 12:45 p.m. during the noon, so that means it was very hot out, especially in the US. So I suspect that his transmission probably floated upwards in the heat. But I did get some numbers. I also got some interference numbers. I think that was military, but I believe X's number is obviously 47. That's the number I kept getting. Next video, let me know if I came close or not, and we'll figure out where this 47 came from. Please support Pink Barrio. There's t-shirts and mugs and all kinds of cool things on the About page on Pink Barrio. So if you're one of those that are collecting, there's usually a new item once every week or so. Maybe once a month at the latest. Okay, until next time.